Okay, so check it out. I'm going to show you something. This is about as easy as it gets. Okay, so right now what I have set up is I have my my Korg MS2000 is MIDI mapped to the Maschine, but I also have the audio plugged into this preamp. Okay, I'll show you how I have all that set up in just a second so you can make sure you have it configured right. But I got two things going on. So what I can do is I can actually toggle back and forth. So look, I've got here, if I select this, it's already configured with and MIDI mapped and everything. It's going to use that sound, and these functions are going to manipulate that sound. And if I go to sound 2, then what I can do is, since I have it hooked up to my preamp, now I'm using the sounds that are built into my synthesizer, and everything functions as normal, business as usual. So yeah, now what you want to make sure to do if you're using a preamp is you go here to audio and MIDI settings, you go to make sure that you're using the mobile pre, not built in, and then let me show you how I've got my hardware configured. Okay, I got a mess here. But anyways, this is the way this is set up. So I've got on the back of my Korg, I've plugged these cables, quarter-inch cables, into output, right, left, mono. And then on my preamp, I've got it plugged into USB into the computer, and I've got one plugged into the channel 1 line, and I got one plugged into the back to channel 2 so that I'm getting stereo. And there's outputs here if you want to hook them up to monitors. I just have my speakers plugged into the headphone jack here, and then you got your volume control there, and the computer knows to listen for these. Alright, so now let me show you how to record a sample. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that I have my synthesizer hooked up to my preamp is I'm going to record a sample. Alright, you want to make sure you have the monitor turned on, otherwise you won't be able to hear your sample at all, or your recording at all. Okay, I'm going to set it to free because that's what I like to do. If you wanted to try to get a really clean, just one bar, you could do that, but for the sake of what I'm going to show you next, let's do free. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create a scene, pattern 1. Okay, so typically right here we would have like a drum beat or something going, but just for the sake of getting something recorded, I'm going to show you. Just make sure that the inputs on here turn up so it can hear it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the recording. Usually I wait till it gets close to the end, and then I'll hit this start, and then it'll start. Okay, so here's our sound, our recorded audio. It's pretty awful. So let's just go edit, and we will, DC correct. That didn't do anything. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to cut it up a little bit. We're just going to eyeball it. That's normally what I do. Okay, so got that cut up. Alright, well, since I haven't really had any problems with anything syncing or sending or functioning, with any problems, it's kind of hard for me to troubleshoot and like show you how to do things, but what I'll do is I'll try to put some links on my website along with this video to try to help you troubleshoot and give you some resources, because sometimes it can be a little daunting trying to search on these forums. You get a lot of jerks out there, a lot of stuff that you have to read through, people just being smartasses. So yeah, anyways, if you have any other questions, just hit me up, let me know.